I got to give kudos to Kim Coon at the post-race. She did an interview with Kyle Larson. Typically, our interviews go in with usually just a 2-question deal, right? You're going to get 2 questions, and then we're moving on to the next. The truck, I believe, I don't know for sure, but a lot of times the production truck, if they're not quite getting what they're looking for, they might ask the reporter, hey, go ahead and ask another question. Kim asked the perfect 3rd question that unlocked the box, right? That got Kyle Larson to really open up. And you know, that I don't envy how difficult that is to talk to a driver who's not happy and then to have to continue to ask them multiple question after question. Usually the driver wants to be somewhere else. They're going to let you ask a question or 2, and then they want the interview to end, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's a really tough, uncomfortable situation to be in, man. She handled it like a pro.
Do you remember what that question was? I watched the interview too, and I'm trying to remember if it was about the friendship between her and Denny or what.
All I know was that the interview from question 2 to 3, the interview changed dramatically, and we were finally hearing like what we really wanted to know. And that's when our, those are the moments when Marty and Dave and those guys down there that are working the pits. That's when it gets so good.
Yeah.
When they can really, those are they're interviewing drivers after crashes at the Infield Care Center. So they're always usually interviewing in difficult situations, especially if it's in the middle of the race. It's not a favorable moment. And she did a really good job there.
Well, should we get into why she was interviewing him and why that was so?
Yeah. So, Denny, it was exactly like with the one car, Ross Chastain last year. So Denny gets position in the middle of the corner. Larson missed the corner, didn't whatever, right? Larson didn't get through the corner as well. Denny gets wheel to wheel mid corner. He makes a decision in that moment to throttle up and drive up the racetrack and door the hell out of the 5. There's contact. He's coming up the track, right? So I agree that it was a dirty move. I agree that it was a dirty move to door him, to throttle up and just door him, but it's for the win. It's not how you would expect friends to race friends, but maybe that friendship, which I've seen this and I've been part of this on the racetrack, when you got buddies, you use them up. Oh, yeah.
More than you would otherwise?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you're like, hey, man, I know this guy. I know he is not going to do anything. I know I know him. And I feel like I can take advantage of this situation and get out of the car and go, hey, bud, come on, man. We just racing. Yeah, I've seen it before from other drivers that were friends, and I've been in that situation with other drivers that were friends. I got fenced off of the turn 2 at Michigan by Matt running for 10th one year. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe he fences everybody off turn 2 in that scenario. But I felt like, damn, dude, why'd you do that to me? We were both going to run top 10. That shit mattered to me. If the best I could do was a top 10, I wanted it. You know what I mean? And I hit the wall and ended up getting passed by a couple people and ended up 12th. And I was so pissed because a top 10 and a 12th is a big difference. Mm-hmm. And so when Matt's like, hey, it's last lap, I'm racing hard and sorry, just the consequences of signing up to get in the car and go. And so I can understand, both sides of it. I really think that put anybody else in Denny's car and do you have the same outrage? I mean, he already had a lot of people pretty upset at him over this year, right? Some of the things that he's been involved in on and off the track have soured a lot of fans, right? You go to the racetrack. I don't know. You haven't been to the racetrack a ton this year, Mike, but when you go there and he's introduced, he's likely the most booed driver.
I agree with that.
It used to be Kyle Busch, but no, it ain't even close.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he didn't help himself there. The fans were adamant. Now, I look down, and I'm in the booth, and I'm looking down, and there's some fans cheering. There's some 11 flags and shirts, and they got their arm in the air. But it was like 80-20.
Yeah, I believe that. And you had a funny line.
What?
You had such a funny line because Jeff Burton was like, no, this is the right call by NASCAR. And you said, I don't think that's why they're booing, buddy.
Yeah.
And that's not why they were booing.
We should talk about that, too. We will in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute.
Well, the caution at the end. Yeah.
But, look, you know, I have a hard – look, he throttled up and drove him up the racetrack. That's what happened.
He crossed some lanes.
He did. He doored him.
There's no denying that.
Yeah, he doored him. Now, when you slow it down frame by frame, like they didn't – you know, when the 5 hits the wall, Denny's not in his door.
Right.
Right? It's not that egregious.
Right.
You know, that would have been total. He bounces off of him and then kind of turns down the track. Denny didn't even get off the corner. He's not full throttle and just he didn't hit a badass exit. They hit. Denny kind of turns down the track. There's a car length and a half between them when the 5's in the fence. But yes, the 5's in the fence because of Denny.
For sure.
But they both come off the corner and have to block like hell because they both got off the corner So you know, it's a little disrespectful, but it's also hard racing. And the thing that I can't avoid, the thing that I cannot ignore, you know, say what you want about whether you hate Denny or you hate the move or you think it's I'm way beyond, I can't get into that part of it. What I cannot stop thinking about is how freaking good it is right now to be a NASCAR fan.
Thank you.
And how great the last 4 weeks have been.
Yep.
How that place looked like a 1994 crowd.
It was packed.
Slammed.
Yep.
The infield, I retweeted a couple of images from 2019 to yesterday. Stark difference, right, between how many fans were in the infield, the cars parked around the racetrack for the fans that are at the grandstands. The storylines. Look, I know that if you're a Kyle Larson fan, you're pissed off about that race. You think that was a deal. You're mad. But your sport that you love is thriving. And if you can take a little comfort in just being a little happy about what kind of growth we're seeing, what kind of sparks we're creating, what kind of conversations we're starting, we need exactly what we got yesterday. We need that. We need that villain. We need contact, confrontation.
Somebody's got to do it.
God dang, man.
Yeah.
When it ain't there,
yeah.
Good Lord, it's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When there ain't nothing going, when you don't give a crap about the 2-3 guys up there battling for the lead and they're 3 car lengths apart all day and, man, letting each other pass and driving by each other cleanly and not even really putting up a fight. I mean, that's where we were not long ago.
That's right. Yeah.
What we got right now, man, it ain't scripted. This is real. This is authentic. This is literally exactly what I love about NASCAR. And maybe this just me. I grew up in the 80s watching Dad run over everybody. And we loved it.
Yep.
He's catching that guy. Watch him put the bumper to his ass. We freaking wanted it. We expected it.
You knew it was coming.
Yes. Couldn't wait for it. And, man, when he passed them without hitting them, it was disappointing.
What, this clean?
You're like, damn, man.
I'm here for the clean stuff?
Yeah. What's up with that? I mean, you know, there's a little seriousness to that.
No, I'm with
There's
you,
some
dude.
honesty to that.
Listen, this goes back to the thing. This is NASCAR's identity, whether you like it or not. This, you know, Matt Weaver had a really good article, a couple good articles this week in reaction to it, and it's like, this is the sport, man.
Yeah.
This is what we are. Yeah. It's not that you endorse dirty driving. Sure. That's not it. Yeah. But there is that nuance that these are the cars with the fenders on them. So you want the cars with the fenders. They use the fenders. Yeah. And then we embrace everything on the aftermath of it, including the hypocrisy. Yeah. And there is some of that. Yeah. There's some hypocrisy. I'm here for it all.